This is a special edition of the GH Report. We are saying goodbye to the character of Tracy Angelica Quartermaine and her portrayer, Jane Elliott, next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You guys, this is happy music. It's a sad occasion. It's the GH Report here on AfterBuzz TV. It's the General Hospital After Show. I am James Lott Jr., your host. And I had to make sure I turn my cube the right way. I don't know, I was just playing with it all of a sudden. Welcome to the show today. We're doing a special episode. We're going to talk about Jane Elliott and her role as Tracy Quartermaine. I have a special guest calling in. I'm going to have phone calls later for you guys. We can talk about it. We're going to talk about what happened this week with her. And I'm going to show you some clips from the past. And yes, it's me, solo. As you can see, there is no Lucretia, there is no Frank, there is nobody except for my girl in the booth where they sell her. Or where they sell her. Like I said that all wrong.
I mean, kind of.
Alexa Torres.
What up? I'm so excited for you to talk because I really wanted to see the history of this character because I kind of remember her when I was growing up. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time, and she also was on Days of Our Lives too. So she's actually a goodbye to everything. She's been around for like 30 years. She's also on Guiding Light. She's also on Guiding Light also. So she's been around for a while. And I'm so glad to see all you guys in the chat room. You guys are here. I see Candace and P.I. Kelly and Sylvia and Fillion and R. Melvin Fan and Jacob and Elisa and Stephanie and Jeannie and Ms. Yaki and Olive. I mean, Soya Olive. I see you guys in here. I'm so glad you guys are in here today. We're going to really talk about it. You can follow us on Facebook, of course. The Facebook page is the GH Reports. Go ahead and like us there. People are liking our page. Thank you. Let's get there some more. On Twitter, of course, use the hashtag ABTVGH Report. And use my handle, James Lott Jr. And you can talk about that. Or the handles, of course, of Lucretia Lyon, LACRETIALYON, because there's only one. And Frank Moran, of course, is Happy Go Jackie. Of course, so we're there. No, actually, Jane Elliott isn't calling in. I wish she was. That would be so wonderful. But she's retired. She's done. Homegirl is done. So she is not. She's doing whatever she's doing. So, but someone else is calling in. Somebody else very important is calling in. And of course, this is my birthday week, and some of you guys have been so wonderful to say happy birthday to me already. My birthday's on the 10th in a few days. I tried to get Donald Turner to come for the birthday, and he's so sad. He's flying right now. He couldn't come here and hang out with me, but he sent his. Yes, if we sell Alexis, her hubby won't be happy. That's true. I like Neil, so we don't want to sell Alexis.
Not this time.
Not this time. Well, actually, he might be okay if it's for a certain price.
Yeah, no, he might actually. He'd be like, oh, I need those for my school loans.
Exactly, so. Exactly. For the greater good, you might be okay.
The
greater good. That's so funny. P.I. Kelly. Yes, we love them. And so my birthday's coming up. Having a good time with that. Next week is Mother's Day. So next Sunday will be Mother's Day, you guys. And so we have some great things in May coming up, and Memorial Day weekends later on this month. In 2 weeks, we have Sonia Eddy who will be coming on, who plays Epiphany. She'll be on the show. We're going to talk about the Nurses Ball, which is coming up, the good old Nurses Ball, which is coming back again later on this month, and she'll be on talking about that. And she's been on the show for a long time, you guys. I mean, I don't know if you remember when she had her son Stanford who got killed, and she was part of the whole Robin and Patrick. She was so close to them, and it's gonna be a good show with her. I'm so excited to have her come on the show, and we're gonna have some other guests, you guys, for June and July. So thank you. Yes, you guys, thank you for the birthday wishes. I totally appreciate that. Now, I want to tell you guys, I first remember Jane Elliott, of course, because she was first on General Hospital. And I remember her later when she was on Days of Our Lives. She played Angelica, speaking of Angelica. And she was so fun. And here's another thing, her and Wally Kurth, who plays her son Ned on General Hospital, they played lovers on Days of Our Lives. And somehow it worked. No, somehow I believed both of them. And that's when he was Justin. It was kind of a weird thing, and so it was a lot of fun to watch do that. And she played Carrie Todd, I believe it was on Guiding Lights or All My Children, one of the two. She's been around for a while. And as you guys know, the big thing this week was Anthony Geary came back, who plays Luke, for the ending scene, and he had the weird hair. Yes, everybody in here talking about the weird hair. It was kind of like he had a lace front or something was going on. He had swoops on the side. I don't know, it was like some weave or whatever he put in there. But in real life, Anthony Geary lives in Amsterdam. So I guess maybe that's my Dutch people, maybe that's their hairstyle these days. I have no idea. Yes, James is alone. You're asking us, James, I'm all by myself, Caroline Spencer. It's me. It's just me. And in the booth, in here, and Lex is in the booth. But yeah, it's going to be here. It's going to be just me, you guys. That's it. The other two are out doing other things. I think right now Lucretia's in Vancouver. And I love Vancouver. I was just there, and it was beautiful up there. So she'll be doing that. So you get James Lott Jr. for the rest of the hour. I'm going to show some clips later on today. Some stuff you probably have never seen before, or some of you guys may remember. Remember she played Tracy Quartermaine on 2 soaps. There was a now defunct ABC soap called The City. And The City, of course, was a spinoff of another ABC soap called Loving. And if you remember Loving, they killed off everybody on Loving and brought like a few people over to The City to make it modernized. And they had some characters from All My Children, and they just kind of brought them all together, and it was like this weird. I think I watched maybe a few episodes of The City. I really didn't watch it that much. Yeah, he had a wig. I don't know. He had something on his hair. There was something going on in his hair. I don't know what was going on. I think it was his actual. Well, I don't know. Was that his actual? Could he grow hair still? I don't know. But yes, it is James unplugged. I like that. I'm unplugged. Well, I'm kind of plugged in, but yeah, I guess I'm kind of unplugged on some level. I don't know what that completely means. But yes, I just feel that Tracy Angelica Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, who was a portrayer, was somebody who was very important to the medium of daytime. What's really funny about her, she was never regarded in the same level in terms of storylines like Marlena Evans on Days of Our Lives, or Susan Lucci on All My Children, or Erica Slezak on Why Should Live. Yet she was somebody who, in stature, on and off screen, was very well beloved and thought of as a really great actress. To my knowledge, she also was helpful to younger actors on the show, and was able to give them pointers, and they would go to her for advice. And she was a really good teacher in that way. And I just think it's such a she's of a certain age now, and she says she wanted to retire. And some people don't want to work to their dad. They just don't want to, and some folks do. I mean, it depends. It's a very personal decision, and I think she was just saying in her last interviews that she was just very excited to get on to her next phase of her life. And, to remember so many lines like that all the time, every day, front burner storylines, side storylines, it must take a toll on you after a while. And she was good at it, of course. Obviously, she was a great actress. But I mean, after a while, maybe you want your brain to rest. And I always say, I say this all the time: never say never. Right? You never say never, because you just don't know. I mean, you just don't know. Anything, she could come back in a year or 2 years or make appearances. Her sons are still on the show. So we still have Ned. We still have Dylan. She does have a granddaughter out there, which is Brooklyn. So that's out there. And yeah, it's kind of one of those things where she just wanted to retire. I think it's admirable to walk away from something while you're still at the top of your game and no one's pushing you out, and that you're making a choice. You have to have that choice to say, I'm going to just kind of move on myself and make the choices in my life that I want to make, especially at that age. I hope I'm able to do the same thing when I get there. I mean, I'll be there in 30 years, something like that, less than that. So it'll be kind of fun to see what happens there. But yeah, Ned is now, and one major thing's happened this week, Ned is now Ned Quartermaine. Because his real name was Edward. So he was an Ashton, of course, but now he became a Quartermaine by name. And I thought that was a great gesture for fans, for Tracy, for all of us. We want Quartermaines. That's the one thing we keep talking about. And when I was putting the show together, I just kept thinking, that's what we want. We want Quartermaines. We want them, and I hope now they really listen. And there's a few there, and there's some still Quartermaines out there we have not seen in a while. There's Sky Chandler Quartermaine and her daughter Lila Ray. There's Maya Ward and the whole Ward family. They're Quartermaines. Jimmy Lee Holt's out there. He's a Quartermaine. So there's some Quartermaines out there. And I know some of you guys out there completely agree with that. Yeah, so you guys didn't know. She was on a show called The Sea. She played a mob boss wife. She was kind of running the mob, whatever. I didn't mean to do a little shady Sunday about Anthony Geary, because Anthony Geary was kind of going bald. I mean, he was known for his hair back in the 70s with that curly perm. But in other recent years, he had it really short, and I didn't know he could grow hair. I mean, you can always have hair. I mean, you can always buy hair and put hair in. I mean, that always works too. So, yes, I'm still young. Why, thank you. I mean, some days I really do feel young and feel like there's no age at all, and some days I feel every single year. What do you say about that, kids? Single year. So this week, while I'm waiting for our caller to call in, this week what we're going to do is I'm going to just tell you a little bit kind of my thoughts on the episodes. I want to tell you, I think that they did a beautiful job. A beautiful job on her exit. And first I want to say the one, because we weren't here last week, the one the following Friday, the previous Friday, where she was in court, and it was Judge Sunny, and it was and Nathan was there as a person, and Ken Shriner, who plays Scotty, was wonderful as her lawyer, and then Diane was the. It was such a great episode. I thought great use of flashbacks, and again on this episode this week, great use of flashbacks. I didn't expect to do any more flashbacks. It was so wonderful, and just her scenes with everybody. I cried like a baby. Like a crying, hungry baby. I cried that whole episode. It was just such a great testament to her and her just being on the show. She's so good. And some of the highlights for me were when she was talking to Laura, and she thanked her for Lulu. And I like the fact that Laura and Tracy came to this conclusion. They're like, we could have been friends. This whole time we could have been friends. And they basically said in another life, they would have been. And I like that it came to an understanding. I think that's so wonderful. They came to an understanding. So that was just it was a great scene that was very organic, didn't feel forced, and it to me made sense. Tracy and Michael, great stuff, all about ELQ, because Michael still runs ELQ. And I see you guys did cry too. A lot of you guys cried, yes. Let's say we go further. You did love the shade when Ned said about Michael and Jason being a Corinthos and Morgan and not being a true Quartermaine. There was some shade there. Tracy's warning to Michael that things better go well or else. I love that was really in tune with the character. That was wonderful. I kind of like that Ned and Tracy, their speech was the shortest. It was just because he was like, where's my exit speech? Give it to me. And he just basically said, you're my rock. Always. And I just was like, oh my God, he's crying. I was just tearing up with that one. And I like when he said, this house always needs an Edward Quartermaine in it. So when he changed his name, that was just kind of great. Tracy and Finn, I even got tear-eyed over their scenes. When he said, I've never had a friend like you. And she said the same thing. I was like, that is their friendship. It was a very unique friendship. And I have to say that was also a very beautiful thing too. I couldn't believe it either. I was like, their chemistry. Michael Easton and her had such great chemistry. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sad that it will not continue on screen because I think they had great potential. And that was just a nice little scene there. And I like that Hayden was just kind of like, yeah, you don't really trust people. I mean, even when you trust them, you don't really trust them. And she kind of smiled. And that's when Tracy said, I think I've changed a little bit over the year because of you. You saved my life. So I think that was a really great scene. Tracy and Monica, of course. Those two have been through so much. But I've loved in recent time how they've kind of come together because they're kind of like the last Quartermaine standing, so to speak. And I love that it was something that was really good. And one of the things that Monica said that made me cry, somehow you went from being my sister-in-law to being my sister. That was a great line. Because she said, my friend, she said, I don't know how it all happened, all things we've done to each other, our snarkiness, everything. But somehow you went from being my sister-in-law to being my sister. I was like, please, oh my God. I was sobbing. I was just sobbing like a baby. Like a baby. And when Tracy's voice cracked up, talking to Olivia, because she didn't really have much room for Olivia, that she said, this son of mine used to take care of everybody else. It warms my heart that now he'll be taken care of by you. And her voice cracked when she said that. And it's like, because you can just tell in all the scenes leading up to her final scenes and all the scenes on that day, you could just tell her and Wally Kurth, Jane Elliott and Wally Kurth have such admiration for each other. You know, we had him on our show and talked to him. He talked about that, just admiration for her. And they have a friendship, and we're talking, decades. That it must be interesting to say goodbye to somebody that you're friends with and colleagues with for years in 2 different soaps. It must be really just, I mean, I'm sure the emotions flow freely, probably when you're acting, but it's also like for real. So whenever you see those, I always get like, wow, I get goosebumps because I'm like, in real life, they're saying goodbye. On a side note, when Dallas, the reboot, had to deal with Larry Hagman's death, it's very well known that Linda Gray, who plays Sue Ellen, and Patrick Duffy, who plays Bobby Ewing, were really close to Larry Hagman off camera. They were really, really close. And so, and to me, the best episode of the whole reboot season was JR's death. And the acting scenes of Linda Gray and Patrick Duffy, you could just tell it probably wasn't hard to get to those emotions for JR. Like, they were really feeling the death of their friend. And I'm sure it wasn't hard. And I felt the same way with Wally Kurtz when she first makes the announcement that she's leaving. And they close the shot on him where he's looking out when she walks in the other room and he tears up. It is. Yes, you just tell. And I see you guys are feeling this. I'm looking at the chat. You guys are feeling the same way. Everything I'm saying, you guys are feeling the same way. I love the love shining in their eyes when Ned and Tracy looked at each other. Sylvie feeling it. I agree with you. You tell it was real. It was real acting, of course, but you could just tell. It's funny when sometimes life and when real life, REEL, and real life, REAL, come together. And this is an instance where it just came together. So it's amazing. And I like that at the very end, of course, when Monica, Ned, Dylan, and Tracy, they're kind of saying goodbye and they're holding hands. And it took a page out of Family Ties. I don't know if any of you guys watched the Family Ties finale. Alex leaves, and then he comes back and hugs them. And they hug, and that's how it goes to fades to black. So that's what they did with this. I like the fact that Monica, she says bye to Monica, she says bye to Dylan and Ned. Then she just runs out and closes the door. Gotta go, bye. And then she comes back in. And so I was like, oh, it was just so cute. Olivia says she's going to take the name Quartermaine when she gets married, so that's good. And they basically really did a whole deal on or selling the painting. It is not clear, and I think you guys out there could also attest to this. Did Luke buy the painting? I don't know. I can't tell who bought it. Thank you, Kevin, for the birthday wish. Thank you. It's not belated yet. My birthday is actually in 2 days, so it's fine. You're catching it on time. And I just thought, did he buy the painting? Did he not? Because he was there in the same place she was. Was it coincidence? But I think people wanted Luke and Tracy to be endgame, I think. And even though we do not know exactly what's going to happen with them, we can all imagine. But when she walks into the coffee bar and people move aside, and there he is. And some folks said he should have said, "Hi, Spanky." I think it was kind of funny. But either way, it was just nice to kind of see his face and see her face kind of melt a little bit. The acting was all there, and they were together. And they showed flashbacks that day. Excuse me. And I just thought it was really, really just well done. I mean, some exits aren't done well at all. And that exit was really well done. And I just kudos to everybody who was involved. And so if Luke bought the painting, where do you get the money from? I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know. I mean, with Luke, you don't know how he gets money. But I don't know. I just wonder if you wonder if Luke's gonna be the cab driver for Liquid Evans. That's pretty funny. Yes. I don't know. Oh, your 16-year-old came home after school and asked what was wrong because you were crying. Oh, I love that, Kelly. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Oh, the Quartermaines bought it. That's an interesting thought. And have a piece of Tracy always. That picture is modeled off of an old actual picture from her acting past, so years ago. So it's actually it is a picture of it's Tracy. It's Jane Elliott. So it actually is her. So it's funny they decided to use that. I know some folks that didn't recognize Luke because of the way he looked, but to me it was Luke. Not surprised at all with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start showing some of the clips. And this first one we're going to show you is the promo of Tracy being on this new soap, The City, back in 1996. That's 21 years ago. Let's go.
Tracy Quartermaine is full of surprises.
Whatever you may think of me, I love you all very much.
Oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
She hates to lose.
You had it in your hands and you blew it.
This round is over in Port Charles.
I want you out of this house within the hour.
But the fight has just begun.
To the Quartermaines.
And you won't believe who's going to help her.
Do I get what I want or do I go to the IRS?
Watch Tracy Get Even on the City ABC.
And it was like very interesting. They decided to spin her off to the city, and how this was not anything rare. People have done this before on soaps. They go to other shows, and it's not anything rare at all. Here's another clip of her on the City as Tracy.
Folks. Poor Carla. Her little charade's gonna be over as of tonight.
Man, she loved her champagne.
Yeah, she just likes to drink, doesn't she? All the time.
I was kicked out of Port Charles without a dime. And starting tonight, I'm back on top. Almost perfect.
You're pretty good at this, huh, Carla?
Well,
So that's what showed a little bit of that of her, and her mentioning the Quartermaines, and there was a whole storyline with this fake Quartermaines and like things like that. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, I guess yes, she did like her drinks, doesn't she? She was all about drinking.
Well, I don't know why. For some odd reason, I just remember her always having a glass in her hand.
Okay, she was always drinking. And what's ironic is on the show, her brother, 2 nephews, sister-in-law, they all had addiction problems, but she didn't get one apparently.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. She was like, we're not. And then of course Alexis on GH got has a drinking problem.
See?
It's kind of funny. This next clip we're going to show you is from 1978, you guys. I was a mere baby. No, I wasn't a baby. I was like 9. But we're going to show you this one. Of course, it's a little funny. Oh, the wraparound dress. They were so big in the 70s.
Mitch, did I keep you waiting long?
Not too long.
Oh, come in.
Who waits like that at a
The
doorway?
party was
Yeah, I know.
upstairs.
Oh, well, it is, but there's no rush.
It's trench coat mafia.
No, wait. You called Gladys. You said I was supposed to be here at 7 o'clock sharp, right?
Gladys got the message wrong.
And her voice is really high. That's what it is. She's like,
here around
Yeah.
she was
7
younger.
So we have a chance to
She was
chat.
younger.
Want a drink?
So you get a drink?
Want a
Like,
drink?
Great. Would you make me one, too? I've been having trouble with my bracelet, and I'd like to get it fixed, okay?
What are you drinking?
Why don't you?
Oh, anything's all right, just as long as it's got lots of vodka, ice.
Oh my God!
She said lots of vodka.
I had
That's
a
my
little,
girl.
Telephone call from Senator Redford today.
I love it.
No kidding.
But seriously,
I'm
those dresses
impressed.
were
What did
so
Mike
big in the
want?
70s. Diane
Yeah,
Font
Dad
versus the
wants me to
Bird.
discuss
My mother
my
has one too
future plans
still.
for the
They're like
November
totally
election.
big back then.
And what did you say?
And his
Well, I
three-piece
told him
suit. I
the
remember
truth.
those were big too for a
But
while.
I don't think that far ahead.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Don't
I love
you
it.
want the
So I just want to show that a little bit. Thank you,
from
Addie
your
Kate
own political
007.
party?
That was the 70s, folks, for you. That was the 70s. That was Mitch.
That's awesome.
That was somebody she was involved with. One of her men back in the day. Yeah. And I did forget how at least in the 70s, that's right, how high her voice was back then. People's voices actually get a little deeper sometimes when they get older.
Man, what's gonna happen when you become the beautiful age of 100?
God, you know my voice. You won't be able to understand me. That's it. You won't be able to understand a word I'm
Like it's in
saying.
slow-mo the entire time.
Well, you know what's so funny? Like in the morning when I first wake up, my voice is so deep I can't speak
Wow.
for the first like 2 or 3 minutes.
Maybe that's what's happening with me right now because it's getting close to my birthday. Maybe my voice
See?
is just like becoming lower, and then I'll get like Michelle Rodriguez,
Ooh.
like low, and then at one point it'll just be inaudible.
Ooh, I love you. Be inaudible. That's what I say. You wouldn't understand us. That's fine.
All right, cool.
So yeah. But people's voices a lot of times they go into a deeper register as they get older. Vocal cords change, and that's kind of what happened I think with her. Because the later Tracy, of course, is the throaty kind of hearty voice.
Yep.
But she has aged well. I agree with you guys in there. She has aged well, so that's good. I'm like, that's good, folks. So this next clip is from. This is one of my favorite clips. It's from 2013, and it's called "The Quartermaine Ghostly Reunion" because half of them are dead in the sea.
Oh snap!
Yes,
Is Alan sitting in the
he's
armchair?
dead.
In my armchair, yes.
I don't care how you got here. Do you have any idea how much I've missed you?
Well, I've missed you too.
Oh. It's true. It's really true. You're alive.
Not quite.
Oh, I have never been so happy.
You're about to be happier.
Hi, Mom.
Emily.
And she's dead too.
Oh my God, how are you not crying?
First of all, I was crying when I first saw it. I was crying.
Really, Alan?
couldn't have brought Mother or Daddy back from the great beyond? You had to bring Monica's adopted waif?
You did not just go there.
It's good to see you too, Aunt Tracy.
Well, I guess you both can't be alive.
Are you just visiting?
Here's backup. Dad wanted to talk some sense into you.
Yeah, well, I hope that statement isn't directed at me because she's the one that's throwing me out of the house.
Okay, for the last time, this is
my house.
Alan gave it to her. Laugh all you want to, Tracy. Clearly, they are on my side.
In your
So I just
dreams,
want to show
Monica.
that, and that's a famous line that's gone on for 30 years. It's my house because Alan gave it to me, or your brother gave it to me. And on the last episode on Thursday, Monica said, "It's our house." I cried when she said that. And Tracy goes, what did you just say? She said, I know what I said. That's what she said. I love it. It was just, but it was
That's
like,
awesome.
but she goes, "It's our house." I was like, oh my God, finally they said it. So they're basically putting that to rest now, because that was always to Tracy. This is our house. No, this is my house because my brother gave it to you. It was always a line. And so yes, I watched that episode thinking that was for the 50th anniversary a few years ago. And yes, you always wonder, why did they kill all those Quartermaines? The Quartermaines are the bomb. They kept killing them. It's crazy. And this next clip I'm trying to remember what this clip is. It says, oh, yes.
Quartermaine's kick Brooklyn out.
Yes, Brooklyn, yes. And Brooklyn, of course, is Jane Elliott. Is Tracy's granddaughter, Ned's daughter. And they also show you a little bit of another Quartermaine. Her name is Maya Ward. She's a black Quartermaine, so let's go next.
Why the hell would you want to live here by choice? The only reason why I'm here is
So they're
because I have
cousins.
to be.
I made a big mistake.
I'll bet.
Watch your back.
Come in, my dear.
Thank you. I really don't mean to intrude. I just didn't have anywhere else to go.
Well, family is always welcome. I'm going to text Alice and tell her to get a room ready for you.
Yeah, but before you get too cozy, what kind of mistake?
Tracy, I won't have you use that tone to your granddaughter.
Daddy, she dropped out of school. She's been running wild.
Well, if Lois and Ned had spent more time with their daughter than they did on their careers, maybe she'd have an opportunity.
Maybe we ought to teach her accountability.
Yeah, I know. I've made mistakes, but I am trying.
Of course you are, my dear.
Daddy, she shows up out of the blue, doesn't bother to come and visit us, and then she's on our patio when she needs a roof over her head.
Okay, yes, Granny, I should have come to visit you, all right? But I wanted to go support myself, get a job. I didn't want you to think I was here for a handout.
Don't call me Granny.
Will you let the girl finish?
Yeah, that's funny. I love she said, don't call. She's always calling Granny all the time. She's like, don't call me Granny. I love that. I love that because she was they're from New York, from Bensonhurst in New York, so they're very Brooklyn. That's a great scene. I loved Adriana Leon. I'm so sad she's on the show right now. She's so good. And just rest in peace to Edward, who's on there, who's John Ingle. He was just such a great person. And the last one is Tracy getting thrown out yet again.
Oh my God, seriously?
Yeah, she got thrown out like 5 or 6 times.
You cannot throw me out of the family house.
What is happening?
It is my house.
I gave it to her.
I see,
Everything you have, everything you are,
Look at that fur
you
around her
owe
neck.
to the Quartermaine family. You have been living off
Look at
our
that diamond
generosity.
earring.
Oh, please, have the tasers ready, fellas.
What did you think she was going to do? You filed a malpractice suit against her.
She almost killed my husband on the operating table.
And now your husband is out trying to commit as many of the 7 deadly sins as that wreck of a heart will allow him to. And that's what's really eating you, Tracy. See, he'd rather die fast than die of boredom with you.
Shade.
So, Daddy, tell me, did you know about Monica throwing me out?
Oh, I heard her threatening to.
Okay, well, even though it's her house, we can still override her with a family vote.
Yeah, let's take a vote. All in favor of tossing Tracy to the curb, raise their hand.
Oh.
No.
Daddy, I don't believe this.
She's like,
You practically begged Monica to do this.
How could you choose her over me?
Besides the fact that you stole the company out from under me and you refused to give me my heart medicine while I was lying on the floor practically dying.
You weren't dying.
How, you didn't know that?
Daddy, that was ancient history.
And you will be too, unless you drop the malpractice suit.
I love it.
What are you doing?
Look familiar? My husband's will.
It's such a, you can find these all on YouTube.
No,
They're
yeah,
so good. And there are so many more. There's so much more. of these. Yes, Alan and Tracy were one of the best brother-sister duos on TV. And just they had no shame. The Quartermaines had no shame. That's why I love that family. They would just talk crap by each other. But when it came down to it, they would be there for each other when things happened. And that scene, Alan was dead in that scene too. They killed Alan a long time ago. But he would come back and just, haunt Tracy once in a while. That was kind of fun. But yes. Oh, today was John Ingle's birthday. Oh, John Ingle, happy birthday. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Rest in praise, how people want to say it. I realized it was his birthday today. I know he's in the fellow Taurus. So he's another person who also taught drama at some college or high school. And a lot of actors actually went through his school, went through his class. They're out there today. But yeah, John Ingle was the best. Yes, years ago, there's a famous scene where Tracy withholds heart medication of Edward, and he was just playing around. So he was like, just kidding, and then he threw her out. So one time he threw her out, so it's kind of, cold-blooded, I guess. It's just a wonderful, all those, there's so many more. There's so many scenes more than that. And they showed a bunch of them on the show that just encapsulate her. So I guess my guest may be having some issues, but what we'll do is open phone lines to you guys out there. We'll have Alexa set that up. And you guys can talk to me and tell me what you guys think about this week of Tracy and any thoughts about her. And because we're focusing on Tracy Angelica Quartermaine today. The number is 424-253-0749. And I'd love to hear from you guys who are out there. And let's talk about her a little more. This is great. I mean, she is an icon, a legend. She is somebody who should be revered. And she does have an Emmy. So she did win an Emmy. So she is an Emmy winner. And so that's somebody who's going to be in the history of daytime television. No, they're not recasting the role that I know of. Someone asking that in the chat room. I believe not. There was some talk. They were talking about some other soap legends, soap heroines to take over the role of Tracy. This is my personal opinion. I personally think it should not. I think she's one of a kind actress. I think we should just let it go at this point. I don't know if I can picture another Tracy. It's funny how some roles they can recast and it works, and then there's some roles just like, you can't do another Stefano DiMera or anything, things like that. So here we go. Oh, we have a caller. Let's do it.
Hello, callers. You were calling into the GH report. Say your name and where you're from.
Hey, Alexis, it's Kelly from PEI.
Hey.
Kelly from PEI. Hello.
Hello, Dave Allen.
So it's funny, I talked to you we both were on a show last night called Soap Party 411. It's a podcast. You can get it. I snuck on and hijacked their show, and you were on too. We talked yesterday. How are you, Kelly?
Yeah, I didn't get to talk too much on that one, so that's why I love this one.
Yes. So what's going on, girl? What do you think?
I cried like a baby in that last show.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through a whole box of Kleenex.
I seriously was shocked how much I was going to cry. I didn't realize I was going to cry that much. I cried. I mean, every scene just made me cry. Made me cry.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I. I started when Ned said he was changing his last name.
Yeah. That was very unexpected, wasn't it? I was like, wow, where did that come from? Okay.
I know. It was like out of the blue. Like, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, and so it continued to the next day where she's saying making her announcements, saying her goodbyes.
I mean, yeah, it was a tearjerker through the whole darn segment of that in the Quartermaine mansion. I was expecting actually Alan to show up in the chair.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that would have been nice. Yes, that's true. Now, how do you feel people saying, because I said Jason shouldn't have been there, and now people are like, well, Jason should have been there. He's a Quartermaine. Well, he wasn't close to Tracy. How do you feel about that?
Kind of on the fence. Tracy didn't really like that Jason, when he changed from Quartermaine to Morgan,
right,
joined the mob. But both of them kind of mellowed over the years.
Yeah.
Even with the face change.
Right, exactly, right.
So maybe he should have been there just to see if they can bury the hatchet, so to speak.
Yeah.
Before she left. So, yeah, I'm in a love-hate relationship with Jason at the moment.
Okay. But so what are some of your couple of your favorite Jane Elliott moments over the years?
I can't go back too far, so
okay.
Because I was in and out of GH in the 80s, so
okay.
I'm around the same age as you.
Okay. Yeah.
Just every time that Monica tried to toss her out of the house,
yeah,
that was hilarious.
They were always fun. It's always funny. Like that was always just like, they did. Yes.
And it never worked.
Yeah, it never worked.
It never worked.
Yeah.
I mean, she tossed her out, and the next show she's back in.
Now,
Or never left.
You know, someone's bringing up that Tracy didn't like Kiki either. She was there. But yeah, but Kiki was there because of Dylan. She never cared for Olivia either. She was there for Ned. It was like, Jason to me is a different story. It's like he is a part of the family. I mean, he really is. But they were just never close. I mean, I thought it would have been really weird if he showed up.
Yeah. Well, the girls were there for the guys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised that Hayden was there, but maybe she should have been. I don't know.
Well, no, they were kind of frenemies, I think, possibly. And again,
near the end they were.
And and she was there for Finn, kind of, I think, too.
Yeah, she wants Finn to straighten himself out.
Yes, I agree.
So far he is, but remains to be seen.
Yeah, remains to be seen. Yeah, right, exactly. Now it's back to business as usual because now the Tracy thing is gone. Now I'll be interested to see what storylines really pop up.
Yeah, it's in the was it I can't think of that animal thing is tied into two storylines.
Yes. So I guess we'll see.
That'll be interesting on that one.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering who Monica's going to try and toss out of the house next.
Okay, right. Yes. My God. Well, thank you, Kelly, for calling in. I'm going to take another phone call and see what's going on. But I'm glad you joined me for this special episode because I'm by myself.
Oh, yeah. You knew I'd be here.
Yes. I know. I love it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And did you send the rain to Atlantic Canada?
Yeah, because it was raining here, too. It was raining and windy here. So, yeah, we sent rain to you guys, too. Like, why not?
It's been raining for 2 days here.
It rained all last night, and it was, like, crazy. And today's raining off and on today here, so... Because we need it here. We like it here. For that. Stay warm. Stay dry.
You have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Next call.
All right, caller. You're calling into the AfterBuzz GH report. Please state your name and where you're from.
Oh, hey, James, it's Jamel.
So, oh my God, I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Hi, Jamel. And so how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, sweetheart?
Good. One second. So, Alexis, I think our special guest is trying to call in too now. He said.
Oh my God.
It's so funny at the same time. Might as well guess. So, well, anyway, we'll talk to Jamel. Jamel, what do you think? I'm always curious what you think, of course.
Oh, okay, good. I thought what happened? No, you know what? This week was really good. You know, I have to admit, I have been sort of touch and go with General Hospital. That's probably why I haven't, been as, active, with calling and all that kind of stuff because it's just sort of been dragging for me a little bit, I have to say. But this week I actually enjoyed it because it was Jane Elliott. She was leaving, and I was loving all the classic, the montages and the scenes of her. And she, I guess we just sort of forgot over the years a little bit how wonderful she was and what she gave to the program. So it was very touching. I had a couple of moments when she was saying goodbye to her sons. I was like, oh my gosh, she really is just giving it a wonderful try here. She's giving a really wonderful performance. So it was a great week. I thought it was great. But you know what? She was great. And to me, she was star of the week, of course, because I love Quartermaine's everything. But you know what? I ask you before I go to the next point, I want to ask you, what do you think about, I've said this before because I love her, but what do you think about Sky coming back? I love to have her back.
Robin Christopher is a great actress, and she has history with a lot of people on the canvas still. It would be great to have another strong, she's adopted Quartermaine, but she's still a Quartermaine, and she has Lila Ray, who's a Quartermaine. You can age her a little bit. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a great addition. She's a great actress. This should be a great addition.
Okay, good. I was wondering what you felt about it, because I never forgave them when they broke up Jackson Sky.
Yeah.
And because they brought in Brenda for like a hot second.
Yes.
And she caused so much trouble, and I would have loved her to have been a temptation to Jackson, to Sonny, and not have a relationship between Sky and him. I never forgave him for that, but I love Sky. I love her.
Same here.
I wish that she would come in and do something. But I want to say how pleased I was that we saw Sonny had a sex scene with a woman who wasn't, he was having a child with or something. So it felt like it was classic Sonny. For some reason, it just felt classic General Hospital with him having a little indiscretion.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Sonny fan, but it was just something, I don't know, good about the way he did it. And it wasn't so deep. It wasn't shooting and deaths and children and all that. So I really like Sonny getting his groove back a little bit.
Very good. Very good. Yes. So what is one thing? I mean, do you think it should recast Jane Elliott as it recast, or no? Let Tracy just go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, they couldn't. I think that what they must do is what other great soaps have done in the past is when somebody as dynamite as Jane Elliott and Miss Tracy Quartermaine goes, they maybe get somebody to come into the town. But now because of the I think I'm saying it right, the settlement between Daytime and all that, maybe we can get a diva from Pine Valley or somebody from Landview.
Yes, like somebody different. I agree, somebody different. And not doesn't be Tracy. They can be Tracy. There's all these divas are Tracy-esque. I mean, like a Dorian, or like they can bring them in.
I was going to say Dorian because she has a medical background.
Yes.
She could be a part of the hospital. She could be scheming, and
I
maybe
agree.
You never know. So,
I agree.
Yeah,
totally agree with
but nobody can replace her. Like they were saying, promotions.
I agree.
You can't touch her with it. They couldn't touch her with 10-foot pole. Every character, that character's her own. It's been that way for over 30 years.
I totally agree with you. I knew Joel, you'd come through. I knew you'd come through. That's exactly. I agree with you on that too. So after we're going to end the phone. I have a special guest calling in, and you guys are going to like this. You guys are going to like this. So I'm glad you got through. And we'll go to the phone lines after that. We're going to close the phone lines for now. Let the special guest call in. But Jamel, thanks for always your insight. People are agreeing with you. So it's like I agree with you also.
Oh, thank you. And I'm sending love to you because I know I've been wanting to say that for a while because you're always coming up with so much sunshine and you end up going through so much. So I wanted to get it to you too.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, so Alexis, we're gonna close the phone line for a second. Everybody, close the phone lines. I need my guest to be able to call in. He is ready to call in. Oh, hello.
Hey, James.
Is this you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. It's Wally Kurth. He is on the phone. Hi, Wally. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry about that.
No, it's Sunday. You're relaxing. It's Sunday.
On Sundays, I just turn it all off. I start drinking wine. My first glass of wine happens around 4.
Well, you do 2 soaps. I mean, hello, you are busy.
You know what? I was just telling Deborah, I'm like, usually I can't wait to go to work, but I am so happy that I'm going to be off the entire next week.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I've been working a lot on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, good.
A lot on General Hospital.
Yeah.
It's been really, we're 5 months ahead on days, but there's a lot. They're just really working me a lot, which is fantastic. It's a fun story. I think people are going to enjoy it.
Well, you are a great actor, first of all, and so we're glad you're working. We're glad you're working, but I do understand you need time off, too, at the same time.
No, but I want to, I really enjoyed talking to you guys the other day, and Jane leaving, I'm happy to talk a little bit about her.
So everyone in the chat room is going crazy right now. They are all like, Wally, Wally. They're all excited. They're saying hello to you. They're sending you love and praise. Everyone, this is what I want to ask for you, everyone, and myself included, felt like your scenes with Jane as Tracy and Ned were so real that the acting must have not been hard to just like emote these emotions. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a situation where, and it's happened once before with me. Well, it actually happened, I think they did a flashback of when she was leaving once before.
They did.
Back in 93. And when actors who are as close as we are say goodbye, at the same time the characters say goodbye, especially now. This one was especially heartfelt. And I think both of us, we're not hangout friends, on Friday night type friends, but, so we really did, our connection really was on screen. It happened during these scenes and, just seeing flashbacks. In fact, I showed I had breakfast with her the other day before she left town and somebody had sent me, you probably, if you follow my feed, I think I retweeted it. It was set to that, that song, like the European guy.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking, I did see it, but I'm thinking on the name of the song too. I did see it. It was funny. It was kind of funny, but I did see it.
Doge, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's anyways all about Jane and I, Angelica and Justin.
Yeah.
And she was just watching it and just like, watching it. I was just playing it for her on my phone, and she's like, "Wow, they put a lot of work in this." Whoever did the YouTube video, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty well done because they would cut the song into, and then they'd bring the song out, and then we'd have dialogue, and then they'd cut back into the song, and then they kept doing that. I thought it was really well done. And her comment was like, "I tell you, on Days of Our Lives, they knew how to do my hair." And the greatest compliment she gave me, she goes, "Will you send this to me? I want to forward this to my children."
Oh, okay.
She never really sees, she doesn't go on social media. She doesn't watch old videos. She's just, she does her work and then she goes home. And and I was telling her, and Maura, as we were having breakfast, Maura West actually texted her and said, "Hey, I know you don't do Twitter, but there's it's the thread, the trending farewell Tracy is trending."
It was.
And she was like, she just kind of smiled at me. I go, "Yeah, that's cool, Jane. That's cool, man."
I think everybody
she's
also
just not into social media, but
At
I
all.
think she finally got to how much she's loved, because I would tell her things and she'd kind of look at me, but she heard them. You know what I mean? She heard them in her own way.
Well, people are bringing up that you guys not only said goodbye just to this soap, but also Days. It's like we're talking decades of work together that you're having to say. You had to say, okay, that was some great stuff, and now she's moving on to her next chapter. So people are bringing up both soaps. I mean, like, is that funny? They're bringing up both of them and saying, yes, this is a real goodbye for them.
Yeah, it's funny, James. I was watching that.
Yes.
The same video that we were watching together. It was like, I'm so used to dealing with her as my mother.
Yes.
That as I was watching it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a little creeped out. I mean, I haven't seen those shows where we're like in bed together and we're totally looking at each other with these googly eyes. I forgot just how much googly eyed I was when I first met her. Like, oh my gosh, hey, and I kiss her hand and I'm flirting and I'm winking and I'm like, jeez. I thought it was just Angelica hitting on me. Instead, I was hitting on her as much as she was hitting on me.
Well,
she was married, for crying out loud.
Okay, now here's a question.
Like, all over her.
So, Wally, here's a question for you. Why do you think it worked? That we believed you as lovers on one show and mothers on the other. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but we believe you as both.
I know.
That's interesting.
You know what? I'll just give ourselves credit.
Yeah.
I'll have to credit the two of us.
Yeah.
That we were able to pull it off. That was the part that I think was so fun working with her. We trusted one another. We could also talk about the scenes to each other in a way that helped, sort of shape the scene. And so much of acting is tone. Mm-hmm. And we understood that we connected on the same tone. I think we have the same taste. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, like the dance partner metaphor, we were listening to the same song most of the time. Mm-hmm. Very rarely did we walk into the dance hall and be dancing a different step than the other person was dancing and hearing a different song.
Ooh, I like that.
And that's kind of how Jane, I think that's sort of how you, maybe that's a good way to describe chemistry, mm-hmm. is that she and I were just sort of had the same, we were just on that same, excuse me, I'm just coughing. Yeah, we were just listening to that same song in a way that was effortless.
I like that analogy.
Judy too.
Yes.
Been working with her for so long. We listen to the same music, and we trust one another, and we kind of, but yet we also, surprise one another.
That's true. You and Judy have worked a long time together too. I mean, that's another partnership that it's amazing.
We met. Well, Jane. It was a triangle, sort of. I mean, Judy and Jane and I, myself, we all started in 1987.
Wow.
On Days of Our Lives.
Wow. That's 30 years ago. It is 30 years ago. Now, one of the last things I'm going to ask you before we let you go is that your character changed the name to Edward Quartermaine, and that actually got me a tear in my eye when you're like, there always has to be an Edward Quartermaine in this house. But I was shocked that they did that. What an interesting part of the storyline.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Everyone thinks of me as a Quartermaine anywhere.
They do.
I mean, people refer to me and like people. I don't tell you how many times when I in any kind of newspaper article, if they're referring to me, not soap magazines because they know the names.
Yeah.
But if anyone's talking to me in talk shows or whatever, they always say Ned Quartermaine.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because I'm a Quartermaine, that's sort of the family. So I think it's actually a good idea to finally just like, you know what? I never really had a story with my father, ever.
Right.
I never met him until the second time I returned.
Oh, that's right.
So for the first 15 years that I was on General Hospital, I never had one scene with my father.
That's
I never
interesting.
even, had a scene until I came back in, when was it, 2000?
Yeah, they brought on, what's his name? Yeah. Wow.
So I loved it. I loved the fact that I changed my name and I said there needs to be an Edward Quartermaine under the roof. I loved it.
Great line.
It was fun. And that monologue was just my way of just looking at Jane and thanking her for everything that she's done for me, and that I am, I'm a better person because of her, I'm definitely a better actor because of her. And why not, take her name?
How blessed you are for that too. That you had an incredible scene partner all these years. I mean, not everybody gets that, and so that's very. Such gratitude. I'm sure that you got to have that.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I first started in the biz, back in Denver and then here at UCLA, and I had in the plays that I did and the musicals that I did, I seemed to have partners that were really problematic.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where it was just like, wow. If it's me, maybe I the chemistry just wasn't there. There was just problems.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that I fall into television and I really lucked out. I mean, everybody that I've worked with has been amazing.
And
maybe it's because at a professional level, when you're at the professional level, you can't, you have a little bit more. I don't know.
I get what you're saying though. It's like this is like for you're doing theater in college. It's one thing. Like you're here actually, a network's counting on you. There are people looking. I mean, you have to be really professional and kind of deliver what you're there to deliver.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And we're also back in those days. Everyone was young. So
that's true.
People got hurt quickly, and people would it was just not so smooth. But that's probably because we were also all young and sensitive. And,
yes, that is.
All that kind of stuff.
Wally, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate this, and thanks for the stories. Everybody in the chat room says thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. I
appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing more of you on both soaps. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yeah, and looks like I'm
on both
for the foreseeable future. I'm going strong on both shows.
Oh my
miraculously, just as crazy as that can be.
You're amazing. You are amazing. Like hello, folks. People are winding down. Like you're just ramping up. You're like, that's it, kids. I'm doing both soaps until they have to wheel me out of here.
Exactly. I'm entering a renaissance.
Yes, you are. I love it. Well, thank you, my friend, and we will talk soon. Thank you.
All right, James.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So you guys, that was your surprise guest, Wally Kurth, who plays, of course, Ned Quartermaine, and of course he's on Days of Our Lives at the same time as Justin Kiriakis. So as you heard, he's been working a lot. You'll be seeing him a lot on TV, and he's just a super nice guy, as you guys know. And so I hope he gave you some insight to his relationship with Jane Elliott. Everybody, now I want to let you guys know, Robert Palmer Watkins, who plays the other son, Dylan, who's a friend of the show, has been on here like 3 times. He couldn't call in. He's actually flying across country at the moment himself. People do a lot of fan events, and so Sundays are when they usually fly back. But he sent his thank you, and he just wanted me to let you guys know that he loved working with Jane Elliott. And we're going to get him back on the show again, of course. He wants to come back on. And when he comes on, we'll ask him actual questions about what's going on there with him and how he felt about Jane, too, when he comes on. So he sends his best to all you guys, too. And he loves our show, and he loves you guys who watch our show and his show, of course. And he has stuff coming up with Kiki and things like that going on. So I want you guys to know I did reach out to him, and so he just couldn't come on. But yeah, Jane Elliott, of course, obviously she retired, so we couldn't reach her, of course. And no, she's not on Twitter. She's not on social media. We looked, and she's just not. And it's always interesting when people aren't on social media. Even if they're on for like a little bit, like not on every day, she's not on at all. So she's just not really on there. And I have a feeling Wally will be, or Ned will be at the Nurses Ball. I'm pretty sure. We have Sonia Eddy on. She's going to give us a little insight, and we'll see what's going on at the Nurses Ball, which is coming up. Robert's in Philly. Yeah, they're in Philly, Detroit this weekend. Yeah, I'll give the General Hospital people, and some Days of Life people too, they do a lot of fan events, especially this time of year into the summer. So for some of us, they want to come on our show, but a lot of times they're across country or they're not going to be back in time. And so we do applaud them for all the fan work that they do out there, usually for great charities. You get a chance for you guys across the country. They go all across the country. I mean, so you guys can see them because we're out in California and we get to see them. But they do it for you guys. And Robert, you guys are saying, Robert is a very nice guy. And like I say, he's been on our show like 3 times, and he's just amazing. And like I said, he wanted to come on today, but he's not in town. So that's something that we just want to give. So that's one of her other kids on the show. But we will ask about her when the time comes for that. So, you guys, I'm gonna end the show now because that's basically what we just want to talk about Tracy. And I think we did a really good job today. You guys were talking about her on here, and of course, guys out there, I also have a GH Mini Spotlight that's out there, and it's about Tracy. And there's some flashbacks on that too. And you can go to my page, youtube.com JLJ Media for that, or go to our Facebook page, the JH Report, and you can see that over there. The next we're here again next week and the following week, so we're all here. Memorial Weekend we're not. Again, Sonia Eddy comes on in 2 weeks. We're going to have some other guests for you guys in June. You can follow Lucretia Lyon at LACRETIALYON. There's only one. And, of course, Frank's at Happy Go Jackie. They'll be back with me next week if everything goes well. Only by myself. But you guys have been great co-hosts, and I completely just love you guys so much because you guys come in here every Sunday and talk to me and Alexis and the other folks on here and our guests. You guys support us so much. I love the love you share us during the week, and when I see you guys in other places, it's just so wonderful. You guys, thank you so much. And you can follow me at James Lott Jr. on social media platforms. I have a special surprise this week, releasing this week. Probably I'll be talking about it either on my birthday or day after, which is in a couple of days. I'll be talking about it. So stay tuned on my social media platforms. Follow us on AfterBuzz TV on iTunes and YouTube. And I will see you guys next Sunday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.